With Bitcoin now only moments away from the 21 DMA crossing below the 200 DMA for the first time in nearly 3 months. Will Bitcoin initiate mega dump confirmed, or will it do what it did last time, which was indeed extremely big? And was this China's final backdoor surprise for the Bitcoin bulls? And bullish days lay ahead. I'm your host, Brandon Bust, and with January just getting started and only hours away from Bitcoin entering its first work week trading in the new year of 2022, will Bitcoin see continued dumpage to start off this year, or has the pain almost subsided? Channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, tune in, absolutely time-sensitive alerts. We have 4 days and 20 hours, nice, until Bitcoin competition. Just make sure to leave your comment below and subscribe, or it is for subscribers. I have one Instagram and one Twitter, and they're both linked below. The rest are all fake accounts. If you're interested in any other bonuses or securing your crypto or getting altcoins, make sure to check out the links below. And without any further ado, let's let loose our goo. Insanely big. So with Bitcoin on its third week, just sitting right at exactly the 50-week moving average, is this good or bad for Bitcoin's price? So before we jump into the charts as well, guys, tax harvesting was a thing a lot of people were talking about. One of the reasons for all the sell pressure at the end of this year, the last 2 or 3 months of 2021. But as Bitcoin enters 2022, could this research indicate China's trading exodus as the reason for selling being so plentiful, and potentially the reason the selling pressure now will decrease? Exchanges deplatforming Chinese citizens prior to December 31st may have added to Bitcoin's selling pressure here. Chinese users, following years of the government tightening screws around crypto, had until the very last day of 2021 to leave the major Chinese exchanges, and were obliged to be deregistered by those exchanges as well. Maybe that is why the hotly anticipated year-end bull market hasn't taken off yet, said former CEO of exchange BTC Bobby Lee. He says, I think this probably explains why we've seen Bitcoin typically trade weaker over Asian hours versus US and European hours. And it's also a potential reason for optimism going forward, as the Chinese exchange overhang will be cleared from the end of this month. Also, we had a very large options expiry, monthly and annual, or quarterly and annual, which is just very big. So now, is Bitcoin free to run a little bit? So if we take a look on this chart, one of the first things we notice is the 21-day moving average is now touching tips with the 200-day moving average. And that's a no-go. That's a no bueno. Usually that's not the types of tips you want to be touching here. But you see here that the last time we saw this happen was back at the very end of September, where that was after, a very prolonged period of dumpiness, and we got this cross. But what did it ultimately signify? Again, because it's a lagging indicator, is that was basically just the bottom. And we quickly, just days after we got this bearish cross, we quickly spladooshed to the upside. We quickly absolutely exploded to the upside here, going from about 40,000 to nice 69,000. Very nice. Now we're getting this cross right here as well. So again, does that mean we're guaranteed to? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. But this typically is looked at as some sort of bearish indicator. However, that's not always the case, and in fact, quite the opposite. Especially after we've seen such prolonged dumpiness here. Let's take a look. I guess we can start at 69K. We've basically been dumping for 2 months, even a little bit longer than that if you just kind of discount this 1 week of trading here. It's been a pretty dumpy environment for almost 3 months for Bitcoin. And again, obviously, seeing these moving averages cross bearish is usually not a good sign. Again, we had the 21 cross below the 50 over a month ago at the very end of November, and that did spell further dumpage. But with the shorter-term daily and long-term daily, the 21 and 200 day, is Bitcoin going to finally cease with all the sell pressure and actually be able to make a move to the upside? Because again, one thing we do notice, guys, looking at all these charts, you can look at the 6 hour, 4 hour, the 1 hour. One thing that you see here is, again, very likely the bottom, in my opinion, here, right around 42K. And we've just been trading sideways here, literally just going sideways. That is not an unusual way for a bottom to be formed, okay? Obviously, this level right around here, you can see the VPVR point of control, this red line here, at exactly 47,000. That's been the point of contention for a while now. Right here for the past over a month, even going all the way back to August, in September and October here, that was a pretty big level as well. I mean, it was pretty big resistance, and we eventually did break it. We broke it basically exactly when we got this bearish cross that I just mentioned about the 200 or the 21 going below the 200. So now again, we're looking to see this is the bottom and then initiate a reversal to the upside, at which point as well we can get more bullish on the entire space. And because again, we've seen altcoins, large cap altcoins for the most part kind of lag behind a little bit. And as well, what's going to be interesting tomorrow is, will the stock market continue a nice rally, or is that over as well? And can we expect bigger institutions and more institutions continue to get into Bitcoin like we saw them do exactly the entire year of 2021? Let's get into the channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and these absolute time-sensitive alerts as well, guys. You have 4 days. Just make sure to drop your comment below. Is for subscribers. If you're interested in any deals or bonuses, make sure to check out the description and pinned comments below. And without any further ado, it's free.